Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Mel. So this week I'm bringing on another guest. This guest is actually kind of special to me because, well, I've known him for many years, and that is my son Jayden. And we're going to be having a discussion about what men his age are facing. What are some of their big obstacles? What are some of the dreams, and what are they wanting to gain out of life? And we're going to have a good discussion. This is going to be fun. So here we go. Hello and welcome to Relaxed Mel, podcast that helps men change their relationship with themselves. I am your host, Brian, and I am a men's life and mindset coach who is here to help you understand that you don't have to suffer at your own expense. You can live your dream, and I encourage you to set, then pursue your goals. So join me as I change the mindset and attitudes of men so that they can be the leaders of their families and their destinies. Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Mel. All right, so as I said in the intro, today we've got Jayden with me, and this will actually be a little bit different conversation just because, one, he's actually in the same room I am, which is way cool. He actually he was home for the holidays, and he's making big changes in his life, and this is my chance to actually be able to bring him onto the show and have a conversation with him and get to know him and have him be able to kind of share and help give a younger man's perspective as to what they're facing, so you can actually understand what they're facing, see what things are changing in men's lives, as opposed to actually what's still the same, what type of challenges they face that you've faced, and you probably recognize a lot of challenges that you've had, the same as may open your eyes up to some changes that you would have never even thought of. So, but before we actually get started, want to say, if you're new to the show, man, I appreciate you taking the time to actually listen and see what the show is about. If you are new to the show, you can get this show every week on Thursdays, delivered directly to your phone, iPad, whatever listening device you have, by going over to relaxedmel.com/subscribe, and that will actually take you to our subscription page. And I've got lists upon lists of different apps that you can actually just within 1 or 2 clicks, be able to subscribe to the show, and it will actually be delivered every time you get a new show. It'll let you know, it'll give you alert, and you can then catch the Relaxed Mel every week as I put out a new episode. So normally, as you know, I will have a question of the week, but because I've got a special guest this week, we're not going to do the question. But if you happen to want to have a question answered by me, you can also do so by going over to relaxedmel.com/contact. I actually just realized that one of the main problems that's why I may not have been getting a whole lot of contacts, for whatever reason, the /contact link wasn't redirecting like it was supposed to. It was just throwing you over to a 404 page. And so got that fixed. Now, when you go to relaxedmel.com/contact, it jumps up and it brings up the contact us page and allows you to be able to enter in your information and ask your question, and it'll be sent over to me. So if you have a question, please come on in, jump on over, ask the question. If you don't want to fill out the form, you want to just shoot me an email, that's fine also. You can send me an email by putting in the address of Brian with a Y at relaxedmel.com, and that'll make it directly over to my inbox. I'll let you know that I've answered the question and when that question will be available on the show. And you'll get to hear what I have my insights and my thoughts of what might be actually holding you back, or whatever problem you end up having. So now let's go ahead and let's jump on over to our special guest of the week, which is, again, like I said, my son, Jayden Clark. He is a man who has grown up from from the time of 95. He's made it to 25 revolutions around the sun, doing a bang up job doing it, getting out there, finding out what life is about, and facing his own personal struggles. And those, not that those struggles are bad, those struggles are great. Every time you, like I've said, every time you face a struggle, you become better and you grow and you become stronger. It's like lifting a weight. Every time you lift that weight, it becomes just a little bit easier, a little bit, as you become a little bit stronger. So anyhow, let's bring him on and get to know Jayden. So Jayden.
Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Dad. I'm really happy to be here. Super excited. Well, I don't know what to start with.
Well,
like you said, I'm 25 years young. I haven't got a lot of experience, but maybe I've dealt with something that maybe someone else hasn't. I don't know.
I would think that you've actually have got a lot more experience than you want to really give yourself credit for. I mean, you've done something that a lot of people don't do. Now, there's a lot of people in like the fishing industry, but that's something that a lot of guys have a tendency to just want to stick right at home. And you went to the edges of the continent to actually try out commercial fishing.
I've always wanted to travel. I always wanted to get out of Oklahoma and get out of Texas. A great place, good family values and so on and so forth. But there's a lot more to see than just where you were born and where you live. I wanted to go see California. I wanted to see Alaska, and I got a free ticket straight up there, and I had to take it.
Right. And so, but let's go ahead and let's start off just so we can give everybody a good overview as to who Jayden is. I could always, and I think I have shared before, like times where you were just a outdoors person. You couldn't keep you indoors. There was many times where all of a sudden you woke up way before either one of us, me or Mom, did, and you were out at the playground, almost getting us into trouble. And so it was. You'd always been an adventure. It's been high energy and just get up and going.
I remember one time, it was back whenever you lived with Nana in Fort Worth.
No, over in Dallas.
I tried waking you up off the couch one day and you wouldn't get up to play with me. So I left the house.
Yeah.
And I went and tried to have fun. I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember climbing up a sort of shelving with a bunch of plants on it and getting to a door. Or a window of some kind.
Well, it sounds like you may have two different stories mixed in there, because there was a time when we lived over in Navy housing, and we had a futon, fold out futon, and it was just nothing but a fluff, a square fluff ball, and so it was light enough that you were able to shove it over and climb up on the back so that you could actually work the deadbolt and get out and go down and play in the playground. Then there was the other time where you actually snuck out one of the windows at Nana's house, and you found somebody's tricycle or big wheel actually, and off you went. So you committed small theft auto, and you were just out cruising around. So yeah, we ended up having to put window locks on everything, and we over at the Navy housing. I mean, we ended up taking the deadbolt and having to do a double key deadbolt where you actually had to unlock the door with a key from the inside.
Oh, no.
Just to be able to keep you
locked in my house.
I am locked inside my house. If you don't know Violent Femmes, that's on there added up.
Is that a real voicemail?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was. It sounded legit.
So, but anyhow, so as you got older, you really hit the time where you wanted to start trying to expand your wings when you were in your teens, which is where the majority of teens start doing. That's where the major rebellion phase comes into play, because it's like I am my own person. I am not like my old man. I am not like my mom.
I strived almost every day to be the complete opposite of you.
Exactly. I mean, that's why you tried to find the biggest set of noise on the radio that you could get just to hear me grumble.
Yeah.
And if I grumbled,
I probably
then
only chose my music preferences just based off what you guys wouldn't like.
pretty much. And you did a good job of it. That growling stuff was just
no one likes it though.
Yeah. Well,
I actually I went from probably rebellion factor to actually digging the music.
Yeah. There was.
I still listen to it. I love it.
But so during that time, during the when you were in high school, would you classify that you liked high school or didn't like high school, or was it a mix?
I hated it. I hated being told what to do, when to do it, and everything like that. I hated the fact that we had to do homework over and over. It was just so stupid. I felt like they were training us like dogs. They were just like repetitive. It's like, I can get it in the first, maybe not first try, but a couple times doing it. I don't have to keep doing my times tables over and over. I know how to multiply now, and just using that as a base for how they grade you. And like, if you're going to pass this class or not depends on how much work you do, not provided of how much you're learning, like it should be.
Right. And nowadays, I've told you several times that if I knew now what back then, you wouldn't have been in high school anyhow. You would have been doing some type of unschooling where you were learning what you needed to know through life experiences. Because like most boys, we are very.
But then again, at the same time, I should add, I loved high school because even if I was grounded, I was able to see my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's there is an argument for the socialization, but even if you're not homeschooling, you have socialization no matter what. But I would have liked boys actually learn through working with whatever it is. If they need to learn how to count, well, then, there's means of teaching them to count through, well, how many nails are we going to need to be able to put this up? And
start by estimating jobs for like building structures, even like something as small as a doghouse.
Yeah.
It'll teach you a lot of mathematics, geometry, and counting.
And and
it's a lot of it's very intuitive. If you put it on paper in a word problem or whatever, it's working against the way your brain naturally wants to work.
It does work against how boys learn. That what a lot of the schools are set up to help girls learn. That girls are very a lot more mental, not mental, but they're but they're more analytical in their thinking, as guys are more physical with their learning. And that's one reason why when it comes to helping boys learn, that's one reason why recess actually exists. Boys have to sit there and they've got all this energy that's got to be expelled one way or another. And so you've got to take them and throw them out into a play field that's got nothing but a bunch of bars that they can run, jump, and swing, and bash a knee and scrape a chin from time to time. The witch's hat was a great deal. We used to have something called monkey swings, which were just a big tall bar with a pivot on the top, ran by chains with metal handles, and we all tried to run around.
Like a trapeze sort of thing?
It was kind of a trapeze deal. And we'd all run around and see who could get themselves up high enough. And then there was like I said, that had a witch's hat, merry-go-round, and people would get in the middle, and so you could get the most movement for the amount of force. And boy, you'd sit there and see kids hanging on with dear life, and their legs.
Sounds like not much has changed since you were a kid.
When it comes to kids do things, and especially boys, boys always push themselves. You got to try to get stronger, try to get faster, and it's not. And today's society, sadly, I think is really pushing to make sure boys don't do that. That's where that whole.
Well, maybe in some aspects, but when you look at how much professional athletes are paid, you could easily argue that one.
Well, okay, yeah, but but that's just an inherent nature of a boy, is to try to get stronger and better. So what with school being like it was, I mean, we did a little bit of both. We did a kind of a homeschool style.
It was called K-12.
Yeah,
I started
we did.
that 8th grade, 9th grade, I think.
Ninth grade is what I believe it was, because we had you there for all 4 years.
It wasn't bad, and I mean, it was cool because I got to do the work in my time. Like, I didn't have to sit there for an hour each class. Whenever I can get my work done in 5 minutes, I'm done with that class. I move on to the next one.
Right. So with school, what was probably one of the bigger challenges that you had with actual school, though?
Conformity. Having to do what the teacher said, dress like they want you to dress, and I don't know. I was always anti-establishment for some reason.
Well, again, that's that age. I mean, you got some kids who, what was his name? There was the one kid who probably is now a doctor with 17 degrees. Seth.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, there are those that conform, and then there are those that don't.
Well, he was just a smart kid. He knew just run it till it goes away.
Right.
Just do what they say to do, and your life is going to be so much easier. He already had that figured out.
Right. But I've also come to the knowledge that the A students are usually the managers, while the C students are actually the ones who run the businesses.
They're innovative enough to try to avoid doing that mundane kind of work, so they're trying to get on top of it, so they're going to take any shortcut or finding they can get to the top of that ladder, while the person who has done it by the books his whole life and is like, I'm going to work up, like,
right.
They're just going to move a little slower because they have too much faith in the people above them.
Right. No, it does. So would you think that when growing up and in school, being like when you went into K-12, was that what type of experience do you think that was? Was that something that you believe was needed? You can either reference that either from at that time, your mindset at that time, or your mindset now. Were those
y'all were able to pay closer attention to me and my behavior and kind of key point where my problems were with school.
Right.
And mom helped out a lot, being my sort of teacher, counselor, and all that. And she did her best. And I think it wasn't necessary by any means, but I think it made it easier to graduate.
Right.
I did, because I was able, like I said, to do it on my own time. Even though I did end up kind of not making the best grades, and I had to take a little bit of a summer class my senior year so I could graduate. But
well, yeah, that was mindset. You were done with school anyhow. You were just like, dude, I've got everything I need to know.
I don't convince me. Just push through, and it's over.
We push through, and I'm the one that did the last half of your last class. I mean, that was how much we were. You had two more assignments you had to do, and it was you sit there, I'm sitting there. It was a spreadsheet class.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, we were both sitting there going, "You just sit here."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes the parents will do what needs to be done, but yeah, that last 6 weeks was a slog, and it's all because you were done. You were tired of it. One, but you were also. You were ready to be out on your own. You'd been ready to be out on your own since probably your sophomore year. Really, you were just like, dude, I've got everything I need to know. And I mean, a part.
I started working for farmers when I was 14 years old, cutting right out of wheat fields.
Yeah.
You get a job, you provide, and you live.
Right.
It's as simple as that. I saw all my family members around me and the places they fit in a society, and I was like, I can find a place pretty easily. If I have to, I'll start it at the bottom, which everyone pretty much does.
Right.
Even if that bottom for you is college or whatever, your first job is at McDonald's, and that everyone has the starting place, right? No,
right.
Some people start higher, small loan of $1 million.
So once you got out of school, what was the biggest challenge that you ended up facing?
Having a girlfriend, trying to be Yeah, it's true.
Well, when you have the chaos machine that you were dating at that time.
Well, it wasn't just any girl. Yeah, let me clarify.
Yeah, it's the. Whew, so the girl had a heck of a life to start with, and then but anyhow, I mean, with besides for that, what was another aha type of moment that you had that you realized when you got out of the house and you were either living on your own when in Amarillo, or even living on your own over in
well, I started to learn
Jake.
that a lot of my authorities, like my parents, my teachers, were right about most things growing up, and I was like, no, you're wrong, you got it all wrong, you're stupid, I know, you don't know. But when I got older, I was like, yeah, they kind of know what they were talking about. And a lot of them had some good advice, and I ended up having to start following it. And I remember calling you and saying, I'm sorry for being such a shit. I get it now.
So, and what is one of the biggest wins that you've had since you flew the coop?
I don't know. I think the coolest part about leaving was meeting all the people I did. I've met some really cool people in the world, and from all over the place. I don't even know where to begin, but I don't know. People seem to be like the most valuable thing in this life. So whenever you get to meet a new person and they like you as much as you like them, it's just great.
Right.
This is nothing better. $1 million couldn't beat it.
So do you? Here's kind of just a different. Do you consider yourself an introvert, extrovert, or you're an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert?
I don't know. It depends on the day. Some days I want to stay home and watch Netflix, and then some days I just can't be indoors for more than an hour. I have to go outside and just start talking to random people. Yeah. And I think I'm pretty extroverted, honestly. Yeah. And
I agree with you on that one.
Come out of a shell a little bit, because during the awkward times of junior high and whatnot, I kind of closed off a little bit. I put up this wall from people so I could still be, I don't know, impenetrable, invincible, and no one could hurt me, and I dressed how I wanted,
So what was your thinking behind why you wanted to be like that?
I don't know. I guess I was always worried of judgment from other people, right? I wanted them to think of me the way I think of me instead of how they might perceive me.
Okay.
Like, I want you to think of me like this, so I'm going to dress like this and I'm going to act like this. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to be a punk, because that's an easy category to fit into. It's not hard.
So what caused you to want to decide to change from that, having that particular attitude and that mindset, to what you have now?
I found out that the people who actually like me don't like me for what I want them to like me for. They like me for the values that I never ever saw in myself at the time. Like, people always bring up my smile, and I always thought I had not a very good one. I got a little gap in my teeth, but people will say that I smile so big and bright.
You do. You've always had that smile where, I mean, even when you were 2 years old, you had this smile that was half your head, and it was just, you may have had drool coming off your chin, but I always liked it when you come running up to me, and you're all happy to see me. So, and it was that big old smile of yours that just was always just, oh, there you go. At least we knew he was happy. So,
but that, and I started listening to people too. I used to, I was closed off. If someone was talking to me about something I wanted to listen to, I would. It was like a switch that had its own mind. Mm-hmm. And I would tune people out is the second I heard, you got to do this, or you need to think about this and stuff.
So the big thing that really was the switch was when they were
telling me how to live my life.
Right. You got to do it this way. And that's where you would get what's actually a word I came across here this last year is called psychological reactance. That's that whole act of don't think of a pink elephant. What are you going to think? What are you going to think? You're going to think of a pink elephant, and that's your mind going, you know what? Screw you, dude. I'm going to do what I want to, and that's the means of just to prove that we have our own agency. Which, I mean, and like I said, teenagers, that's what they're all about. They are nothing but an emotional, psychological reactants half the time. You say, go do, I need you to clean your room. No, I didn't say go outside. I said go clean your room, or time to do the dishes, and find every reason why not to do the dishes. Yeah. And I mean, as you can see, even now, I mean, I still fight that one. It's
go
like,
to bed. But I just want to pet the cat.
I just want to pet the cat. Get a drink? No. In your adult life, who or what's been the biggest influence for what dreams you have?
Like my development and stuff?
Who is somebody that you have met along the way who has just really
kind of sparked
your want to get ups and goes?
I don't know. I usually go to TV for that kind of inspiration, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. TV inspires me a lot. Shows, I see people doing things I want to do. Maybe even someone who's vlogging and has a lot of fun every day, lives in a nice house, has a nice car. I'm like, what does it take to do that? They don't do much but have fun. They figured out a way to make money doing off what they want to do. And that's really what's important. I mean, doing what you want to do in this life. You only get one chance to get it right or get it wrong if you want.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that money aside, you can have a happy life if you do what you want to do. And that's basically the inspiration I get from television and a lot of things. Most people that have inspired me in other ways would be like giving me ideas for specific paths to such things, like construction, remodeling homes, flipping houses. That can be a way up a ladder. That's one thing that intrigued me because it's easy. I know how to mess with, almost said know how to mess with wood, but just gonna shut up here.
So what dreams and aspirations do you have as of right now?
I don't know. Probably too many. I need to narrow it down a little.
Well, what's a couple?
Dream. I want to write. I want to write so bad. I want to write television, books, small, short stories. And I mean, cause I feel like there's a lot of people essentially just asleep, even in just America and the rest of the world. Definitely, but not, on the pillow asleep. They're just blind. They're stuck in their, like, I don't know how to explain it. I want to say they're stuck in their phones, but that's not even the case. People are just stuck in their own heads, essentially, and they have no other way of thinking about things. And people are essentially trained to think a certain way as a majority. There are the special cases, but I want to help these people think for themselves, essentially.
Okay. So if you were to, what's another, you said you had several, so what's another thing you want to do?
I want to be on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
No, they're
doing whatever. Fishing, drinking a beer, doesn't matter. I also want to travel and see all the world that I can before I go. I want to see everything that we were given here to experience.
Okay, well, with that, let's jump onto that last one. What would be something that you would need to do? Because I think you honestly, I think you should. I think you should gather up, $5,000-$6,000 and go live in Thailand for 6 months. Awesome. And that's something you can do. I mean, Thailand, I think you can actually live off of like $100 a month or something like that. It's some crazy.
There's a lot of places like that.
Oh, very much so, and I think it would be a lot of fun, and definitely get as many experiences as you possibly can in your life. But what's something that you would need to do to start being able to travel?
I feel like I have a bunch of stuff I need to get in order first. Like I need to cut ties. Like, for instance, I owe tax money right now. I owe income tax money, and I need to get that taken care of. There's just little things like that. If I have a vehicle and let's say I want to go to Thailand, I'm not driving that truck to Thailand. I don't think I can. That's cross water, isn't it?
No, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, so sounds like
home base is what I need. I need a home base. I need a place that I can, after an adventure of however long, half a year, I can come back, sleep a night, and then go off on my next adventure.
Well, there's quite a few nomadic lifestyle people who, I mean, they don't actually even have a thing that they would call
a storage unit. I got stuff I don't want to lose.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you could definitely go off and buy a year's worth of storage for someplace and be able to pack your stuff there and take off and go on an adventure. And because I think, like, if you were to go in Europe, I think you can only be there for like 9 months out of the year, or maybe you can only be there for so much time, and then you have to come back. You have to go back to the States before you can head back. But that's also before the whole COVID thing decided to make people go, "Oh yeah, well I'm going to block you. Oh yeah, I'm going to block you." So, so what are you doing now to actually try to reach those dreams?
Right this moment, I'm trying to develop some kind of income, not the kind of like an hourly wage job or anything like that, but maybe just do a couple of jobs. And I've started investing a little bit of money in stocks and stuff, trying to get that passive income going so I can do what I want.
Right.
And I feel like starting now is going to give me a big boost, because most people don't think until a little too late, say, hey, my future's still in front of me.
Yeah. And even when you get, and a lot of people, they put it off, and then all of a sudden they hit 50 years and they're going, oh crud, I've missed it all. And one of the most interesting things about that is, no, you haven't. You're at the halfway point. All the stuff that you know now, you can apply. Right. You can apply it for the next 50 years. So you've got plenty of time. Yeah. You may not be rock climbing the Half Dome or whatever it is over in Yosemite Park, but you can still go and you can still witness other people climb it and be a part of that community. Maybe, hike the Appalachian. Yeah. You might only get, far enough above the ground where your feet are, 2 feet above, but still, at least you did it. So, but yeah, there's always ways of being able to. You may not get the exact area of what your dream is, but you can get pretty darn close. I mean, that's one thing I've wanted to do. I'm one of those that wants to try to hike the Appalachian Trail sometime. I mean, I know that's like a 6-month journey or something like that.
Holy crap.
I mean, it's 2,000 miles. You're starting down in Georgia, going all the way up to Maine. So then there's walking the Camino de Santiago, which is basically you're starting in Lourdes, France, and walking to the farthest west point of Spain.
No, that's a cool one.
Yeah, that one's real cool. I'd like to get the Camino passport and all that you get for actually completing that, and just seeing all the cool things along the way. For there. And then, I mean, there's a lot of just different things that some people would actually consider, they're considered pilgrimages. There's one where I think it's in Scotland where you actually have to scale to a church or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but
like a church on a hill.
It's kind of like a church on a hill, but to get up there, you actually have to go on your hands and knees up that.
Oh,
so
show the respect.
I honestly, I don't know why you do it, but they do. They have some special way, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt to get up there, but that struggle of just doing that is what I actually want to try. So, and that's things that I want to be able to someday take men who are in different groups that I put together.
Yeah, that souns like a lot of fun.
Oh shoot, yeah, man! It'd be a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and I mean, I think it'd be a means for a lot of growth.
Oh, I thought of another thing that I'd want to do before traveling to a foreign country too, is learn the language. Because going there and not knowing how to speak their language is kind of not necessarily scary, but it hinders a lot of experience.
Right.
Well, you're going to be eating the same food because you found one thing that you can order.
Yeah. Hamburguesa. Damn it, they gave me a hamburger again. I was wanting chicken. How do you hamburguesa pollo?
Chicken burger.
But that's right there. I mean, yeah, that's something that always do. But and thanks to technology, you can actually do it for free now. I mean, you can do through what's the I think Babbel has theirs for free. There's another.
That's an idea.
There's another. Actually, I've got it on my phone. I can't even think of what it's called right now, but I've been doing it. I haven't done it in a couple of years now, so I'm probably getting a little rusty, but trying to learn Italian. Why Italian when I'm going to start doing a walk in France?
You can yell out the window at people.
What you mean? So,
hey, you shut up with the shut up.
But so it's just one. I mean, that's always something. A lot of people hold off for things like that. We're like, oh, I can't go until I learn to speak the language of that place.
No, I was thinking it's an idea. If you want to go somewhere, think somewhere you want to go, right? And then figure out the language,
right?
Learn it, and that might actually give you the boost to go and travel because now you got this language in your pocket. And what are you going to do with it?
Right, and that's precisely what I was kind of getting at. Is that's what holds a lot of people back. They use that as the excuse of, well, I've got to learn the language. Yeah, they never take the time to actually learn that language.
Well, that's an important step there.
It is, and that's where taking steps and laying out the plans for. Yeah, Binks chewed it off.
Oh, I thought it was
so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a lot long, this long, and my strings on my hoodie. I mean, it's an old hoodie as it is, but yeah, Binks was playing with it and was chewing on it and chewed right through it. And thanks, cat.
Looked like it was tucked inside.
No,
and it was bothering me.
But anyhow, but yeah, that's taking steps is one of the big hindrances to a lot of people because they try to use I don't know what I'm going to be up against. Well, no, but you know what it's going to be like when you get there, and to actually make the time and effort to at least make the plans, execute the plans. It will get you a lot further to that goal than just sitting around going, you know what would be really nice?
Okay, so it's important whenever you think, you know what would be really nice, write that down.
Right.
And then say, what do I need to do to get there? Write down step one. And even if you think it's step one, you're not sure, just write it down. Because you might come up to, that has to come first. And then you put that above one. That's the new one. But it's just put it on paper, organize your thoughts, and you'd be surprised at how much more you can accomplish.
Precisely. Exactly. So, all right. Well, we have hit about the 40-minute mark. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this one up. And we'll see, get it all processed and thrown up there, and then you can actually put your credentials on Podchaser. That's
I'm going to have to start my own podcast.
Well, you don't have to, but if you want to, but you're always capable and able to. It's cost the hosting service I use it's just $20 a month, so it's not bad. Libsyn's great, Blueberry's great. But there's Buzzsprout. There's a few out there that are really good, and there's a few out there that you really like. Stay away from SoundCloud. So SoundCloud is not a good hosting service for podcasts.
Is Apple not good? iTunes or?
Oh no, that's just a directory. That's not a host.
Oh, so you can't record something and just post it directly onto iTunes?
No, you would. Well, through Libsyn, you could actually record something and have that as strictly, because they set everything up as destinations, is what the term they use. And so if you want to have something just be released on iTunes, you would just use that. But I think in all reality, I believe that they use just your straight up RSS feed for the Apple iTunes. So that one may not, but if you say you wanted to have have your podcast come out, a day earlier on, say, Spotify. Why? I don't know. But say you wanted to have it come out a day earlier on Spotify, you could actually set it up to where your Spotify would actually be released a day before, and then everybody else, all the other destinations would be released the day after. So, you can do a lot of stuff through like Libsyn. I think it's very similar over at Blueberry.
All right, awesome.
And so that's definitely, if you wanted to do a podcast, you could definitely do that. But yeah, you'll at least have your entry into Podchaser. So, and speaking of Podchaser, if you liked anything that we said here and have found found any value, if you could go over to relaxedmail.com/podchaser and leave a rating and review on there. That's just kind of gives us a bit of social credit and shows people, hey, this guy is doing some good stuff out there, and helps people to make up their mind. If you're an Apple user, you can go to Apple Podcasts, and I believe Google Podcasts also has a rating and review system too. But if you really did if you did receive some type of value, one of the best things you could actually do, and this is my big ask, is share this episode out. You hear somebody talk something that brought another person to mind. Go, dude, share this and share it over to them and go, dude, this just had me thinking of you all over. I think this is something that'll hit you out of the park.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, exactly. And so share it out to friends, share it out to your family members, share it to Facebook or and Twitter or any of the other social media sites out there that you're a part of, and just help get the word of the Relaxed Mail out to the other guys. Doing that helps us grow, helps us become stronger, have a better community, and will help you to become a leader in your own right, because you're showing people, hey, here's a great resource for information. If you're wanting to also, you've got a goal, you've got an idea, a dream, whatever, and you're not sure actually how to get started, I have a men's group that is just right for you. And it's called the Brotherhood of Men. You can go get to it by going to relaxedmail.com/brotherhood. There you can actually, like I said, it's a men's group. And what we do is we meet once a week, and we each have a opportunity to present our problem, whatever barrier, issue, snag we've come across in life, and we share it out with the rest of the guys. The guys turn around and share their solutions with you, and you can then act on those solutions. And if you don't act, well, guess what? Those guys are also going to hold you accountable. So there's a means of keep making sure those guys stay proud of you, and you're going to want to make sure that you're able to be proud of their actions. And so they're all iron sharpens iron is the classic word, and that's where the Brotherhood of Men really shines. We help each other out, we build each other up, and we get ourselves out from underneath the shouldas, the couldas, and wouldas, and you can actually sit around and say, I did this once, and I did that once, and you know what? And this is how you can do this. And so we all help each other out, and that's one of the great things about the Brotherhood of Men. So if you're interested, please go over to relaxedmail.com/brotherhood, sign up, and we'll get you put into a group, and then you can start to grow. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'll let you go. Thank you again for listening. Y'all take care. Love you lots. Till next week. Bye.